Welcome to Clone Questions Live, episode 32 with me, Paul, your clone coach. We are live every Friday, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time on Instagram here. We're going to let the live get going here on Instagram. If you want to join the chat, you want to join the live, you want to ask some questions, chat a little bit, got to join me on Instagram, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Welcome to everybody. Happy Friday to everybody. Episode 32. Welcome. Let's see here. Every week we do a giveaway. You already know. Hey, everybody joining right now, please share this with your followers. When you could join, it gives you the option to share. So please share as you join. Pick a number, 1 to 420 to win. And yeah, we'll just post that for now. Let me pin that comment. Gus Garden, let's chat about the working in a corporate cannabis startups. But that's like, I got a little extensive resume of working at facilities, and the corporate cannabis startups can be kind of difficult to work in, especially if you're strong-willed, strong-minded. It's my personality personally. Just I don't think it fit very well, and it fed more into me wanting to explore my own avenue of doing things. But that's the life of corporate cannabis. There, Great White Bud, what's going on? You're out in Canada, right? What's going on, everybody? This live, we're gonna try out the True Classic OG. True Classic OG pre-roll, 1 gram joint. Don't tell me I'm gonna need scissors to open this thing up. No, I'm not. But yeah, guys, welcome to episode 32. There's been a lot of knowledge dropped over these last 32 weeks. I remember the first episode being delayed because I got appendicitis and had to go in for surgery, like the Friday that I was due to go live for the first time. That was 32 some odd weeks ago, about 32 weeks ago, beginning of the year. That's pushing on half a year, Matt Slab says corporate Canadian cannabis is a mess. Ooh, tell me more, because I know they've had the biggest operations, but I can only imagine what those. I could imagine because I've seen some pretty bad operations. Just bad management, poor staff, just poor plant health. A lot of things, and at a certain scale and certain size, doesn't it gets worse sometimes. And I've seen some pretty bad big facilities that it's just like, dude, I don't know how the hell they've gotten this far. How the hell they've spent this much money trusting the wrong people and letting it get that bad. But tell me more. What's do you guys work in the more medical caregiver end in Canada, or are you guys in the corporate cannabis? You have any experience speaking on working inside of corporate cannabis inside of Canada? And to everybody else, cheers. We're gonna light this True OG, True Classic OG pre-roll. Let's try it out. Smooth first hit. I like it. Invisible Ink says Canada has failed huge. It sucks. And thanks to everybody. By the way, thanks to everybody that has followed recently. We just hit 19,000 followers on Clone Coach Instagram page. Did a giveaway today. Gave away a free copy of the Clone Coach Playbook, which is available on clonecoach.com. It has the best clones ever guide and the best mother plants ever SOP as well. Matt Slabs says taxes and Health Canada always breathing down your neck. Well, the overregulation, the overtaxation of the industry, I think, is just rampant in any region, right? And just those regulators, there's so many layers of regulators, all with their hand out, looking for certain paperwork, certain signatures, and certain amounts. Great White Bud says zero investors in the space and so many corners cut with the startup. Canada's a mess. That's such a shame, because Canada has the ability to export internationally. We don't have that in America. We can't even cross a state, can't even go into another legal state, even if they have their own agreement, which actually, like on the news front of it, I did see an article written about that where there's basically they're doing some legal investigating to see what the ramifications would be if two legal states went into an agreement to have interstate commerce, and what the ramifications would be from the feds in regards to the Controlled Substances Act. So there's some legal talk going on there. So it'd be interesting to see. But in Canada, you have export available to other countries. It's like what a blessing, or is it? I don't know. Is it not all it's cracked up to be? Like, how does it work with the international export there? See, Great White Bud says, I grow in rec, head of cultivation in BC. Hey, BC's a beautiful place. I spent a summer in Vancouver, and fucking beautiful place, man. Beautiful. But for summertime in Vancouver, it's like you got to check it out. You got to experience it. Let's see. 400 Grow Strong says, I sold BC Bud in the 90s. Nice. Let's see here. Shout out from Montana. Invisible Ink says, it's certainly not free market capitalism in most areas. True Hydroponics says, what's up? You're seeing it, my friend. Episode 32. Clone Questions Live. That's what's up. 32 weeks, y'all. 32 weeks. I think I skipped one or two over these last, 32 episodes. But just got to keep the reps going. The consistency is what matters. I just got to, keep getting the reps in every single week. Big Plug Co. says, this dude is a truth. I have been doing this for a while now. Also gotten a few clones of his back in the day. Y'all pay attention. Big Plug Co. I guess you're in Southern California. Tell me about it. What was where did you get the cuts that I was producing? Was it at a dispensary that I used to vend to? Was it direct as a patient or a caregiver? What was that like, man? Because I did move some plants back in the day. Instagram was very helpful in that as well. Post up your inventory, and the DMs would come in, and the matches would be made, right? But I appreciate that, Big Plug. I appreciate that. I do want to hear how you the story on getting a few of my clones from back in the day. Please share. See, Matt Slab says, we started to peruse those avenues overseas. Yep, Germany. Great White Bud says, Germany is still doing decent with wholesale business to business sales, around $4 a gram still. Nice. Let's see here. Oh, I'm accepting it. Don't trip. It takes a second to load. Great White Bud says, Israel is a good way to lose your shirt. Hey,
how you been?
Dude, you're seeing it, man. This man right here, dude. When we were working together in that greenhouse, in the 10-minute breaks before fucking work and right after work, I was making Clone Coach videos, man. I was answering DMs from people on Clone Coach. I was answering fucking comments. Every spare minute, I was just putting it into the Clone Coach. Remember that shit?
Yes, sir. remember the birth of the club coach.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like, goddamn, doing this.
That
And
was
then now it's gotten to where it is now. And, bro, I root for you all the time. I'm just like, bro, that's one of the lines that really went out and actually did some shit.
it's been about a year, dude.
Yeah, and
It's
it makes me stoked every time, bro. I try to catch your live every time I can. Just because it's like, bro, like, it's so sick to see, like, people that you meet in the industry prosper, like, where they don't need the grow anymore, where it's like, bro, what grow, bro? I am the grow. Like, what do you mean?
Don't get me wrong, brothers. I mean, there's nothing like being around the plants, and it just gets so commingled and like bogged down with all the other nonsense. You know, like that's the unfortunate part of it. Usually, it's just there's a lot more noise going on around those plants. You know,
Yeah,
but
but
but it's a grind, dude. You know, it's but it's like you said, finding good people that you've met and worked with in the industry, like you don't lose that shit, man. You know, like we'll never forget each other's faces. We'll always be like, dude, you know, we know because we lived it.
we were there together, bro. And it's sick because I still talk to the same people as if we never left the grow, bro. Like, I still reach out to the same team. Like, that lion spirit never died, bro. Like, I make sure every day to implement lion activity day to day to day to day, no matter what it is that you're doing.
Yeah,
And it's,
those little wins, man. Those little wins add up. You know.
yeah, bro. And it's always funny to me because, like, I've been doing this, like 10 years now. And it's so rare every time you find a facility where the team is really a team. Instead of it being like, oh, these are just random people I work with. Instead, it's like, that shit is there for life, bro. And
Oh yeah.
like that type, like you can't buy that type of friendship, bro. You can't buy that type of bond.
Yeah,
And
it's definitely the one of the reasons that I stayed in some roles and positions longer than I desired to was because of the people that I was working with. Like
yeah,
that was the bigger reason to stick around more so than most everything else. So I'm with you, man. Like the people you meet, the people that fucking put in the work together and with a smile on the face and come back, show up the next day, do it again, and show up again, do it again, every day.
again, until you're literally having dreams about it, it's fucking weird.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Hey,
and
but
that's
shout out to you, brother. Everybody, go give this man a follow right here, man. What are you working on nowadays? What's in the works? What's brewing? What's
right. I'm finally out of the grows. I'm kind of like done, working for cannabis company, like corporate cannabis companies, where I'm at a point where it's like, bro, I can be doing this shit for myself, and I've been doing it for so long, and to keep it a buck, like the pay isn't what you guys think it is, bro. Like you guys,
well, yeah, yeah.
the way the
I'm with you, man.
maneuver is just so hard, and it just comes to a point where you're just done with it, where you're just like, you know what, dude, I'm selling my passion for cookies, and I'd rather just do this shit for myself and focus on, there's so much other work out there, dude. Like you're so much more than just a grower. Like you
Right.
can go and anything that you want to, and still grow for yourself, and that love will never leave. So now I'm building houses. I'm doing drywall now. I'm doing other things, but I'm still growing for myself
You
to kind
know,
of keep
you
that
you
like love.
you're not alone, man. You're not alone. I can't tell you how many people that have been veterans in the space that have gone through so much are like now like the talk is like, dude, like I've had enough.
Yeah,
Like I've just put in so much, like what's out there is not working for them, and they're just like, once you start comparing options and shit, and it's not like on a whim. Like they usually get to that point after like a lot of strain, a lot of strain, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of effort, a lot of just one more week, one more month. Let's just one more fucking opportunity. When it's you're not alone in that shit, man. I hear a lot of people on that, and for me, I mean, that's why I pivoted. I was like, that's why I got to pivot. Like, I didn't want to leave the industry. I wanted to help more people, but like, I had to pivot, dude. Like, I'm either helping one garden that may or may not appreciate it, or I could help as many people as I can. And fucking
right.
a, dude. Like the rest of that will work itself out.
Oh, it is. And it's crazy because it's so easy to get wrapped up in a grow, bro. Like 6 months will go by so fast. And it goes by so fast, dude. To the point where it's like you literally like do a stop and you're just like, yo, what happened?
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
pause.
yeah.
And like type and then, like somebody else commented, like you're literally contributing to somebody else's dream. And it goes back to there's a lot of people involved that just have money, but they're not in it for the same reasons as all of us are, where it's the plants and it's the people, it's the genetics, it's the customers, it's everybody that you're selling to. You know what I mean? It's a lot more than just weed, and there's a lot of people that are in charge and on top that are just people with money. Like they really do not give a shit about the consumer. They don't really care about the customer. They don't really care about the employees. As long as they're getting paid at the end of the day and their weed's leaving the facility, that's all they really give a shit about.
But
And it's just
here's my thoughts on the money side of it, though. I mean, I'm not the money side of it, and if I was, if I put my money into this industry the way other people have over these last few years, fuck, bro. There's a small fraction of these people that are actually making money, and they're actually on, on the positive end of it right now. There's very, very few. A lot of people have burned a lot of cash. Projects gone sideways. They make some money. They do another deal, and that one flops and fucking brings both of them down. Like they took out big loans or layering loan on top of loan, and the interest rates now, like I don't envy the money uh, right now either, man, because the money, the way the industry's been overtaxed, overregulated, the market's saturated, prices have plummeted, costs have skyrocketed, and you have all these issues with banking and taxes and all that shit, and you gotta like I don't envy the money right now either, dude. Like I just know that the money's gotten fucking turned around, and there's been some dings there too, for sure, man. You know.
and it's crazy too. Is like a lot of the facilities, like correct me if I'm wrong, but everybody's kind of growing the same things right now. And it's either white label something else or it's literally the exact same thing.
It's you're
So
not wrong. I mean,
like,
it's that's the saturation of it, right?
like it's like there's a lot of
Everybody's going out with the same game plan, and then you're like, well, why am I not unique when it comes to the market? Like, well, first of all, you're in that mindset. That's just a commodity mindset. You're just another
right.
tomato. You're not.
Yeah,
You say you want to be craft heirloom, but you're not really craft heirloom tomatoes. Where you'll see some shit you've never seen before. You won't see at the grocery stores, and that's why it's like, yeah, it's 3 times the fucking price per pound. That's
yeah.
true craft
Like
and heirloom. But
I saw it was papaya, and it was probably back in like 2016, 2017, and that shit grew black, but in veg shit grew green.
well,
And
that's interesting.
the plant, bro, the whole plant turned black. Like it was so purple that it was black, and it was just so like you'd smell it, and it just smelled like a basket of strawberries, bro. It was so weird.
Interesting.
And that was one of the first times I ever saw something to where I was just like, yo, this is different. Like this is what it's like, bro. Holy shit, where did this come from? And then you're on the computer. Oh fuck, this came from him. Oh shit, he got it this way. And now it's just like everything is lemon cherry gelato.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the tough part, man. It really fucking is. But that's the industry, brother. So you know, get the grow going. It's always good to keep a garden going. It's rare that a garden fails you in the long run, or having one fails you in the long run. It's usually the way to catch you and save you a little bit, give you a little cushion. Give you a little bit of hope. So fucking keep
So,
pushing it, brother. And yeah, dude, we'll fucking keep trying to just get better, dude. I'm fucking reading books on studying. I'm just trying to tweak, improve a little bit, chip away at it every day, man.
yeah, I've tried this new grow. I'm trying. So I was really specific, like with my nutrients that I was using before this grow. But now this grow, I'm trying new nutrients and I'm trying new like feed cycles and other things that I'm kind of like I
How is the
haven't really.
environment though, man? Because that's the bigger factor in everything, and that's if that's not in check, what your other inputs aren't going to be getting you the results that you're expecting. You know what I mean? If your environment's not in check.
Yeah, we talked about that, and after that, I went and put the plants in the domes, and they took off after that. And then
Perfect.
once they were in the domes, I noticed the humidity was getting a little too high, so I took the domes off and just lowered the lights. And since then, I've just
What
been
kind of light
using.
you got rocking there?
So they're budget lights that I got. Shit, I want to say maybe like a few years ago. But they're just some blurple veg lights, and then once I'm done, I switch over to like a whiter red light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
But
you could get fairly close with those LEDs and stuff. Just as long as they're not high wattage or high intensity, then you shouldn't be having any issues with like burns or curls or anything like that by
no,
getting too close. But you could, get close and bring some light to those plants if you really want them to drink.
yeah, each light veg is running 250, so I have two of them
Oh,
together,
okay,
and then when you switch them to flower, it's 500 watts each.
got it. Okay.
So I kind of just use those on low, and then um, it's funny enough, I was at the hydro store picking up nutrients, and the guy had like a light, and I ended up getting that for like $5. So I kind of just run this blue light in between the two.
Hell yeah, dude. I love it, man. That's see on a small scale too, you could do those tweaks and adjustments and trials and tests and like I just want to see like your curiosity gets fed, you know,
Yeah,
in your personal grow.
yeah, I like it. But we'll see. And maybe I'm gonna let them veg for a while. I want to fill up the tent like as much as I can, and then do like one last heavy defull, do some weaving, and then just
How
flip.
long how long do you want to veg for? How many weeks?
Normally for the clones that I get, these clones are growing a lot slower than what I'm used to. So once they kind of get acclimated to the, like you said, the environment and stuff, and they start taking off like I want them to,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna probably do like a half to let them like really bush out, and get like big
How
under the
long?
trellis. About a month and a half. So was that 6 weeks?
So are you gonna be doing some topping?
Yeah, I'm gonna be topping along the way, doing a lot of default, keeping everything really under the trellis. I use it's a 4 inch by 4 inch square
Okay, trellis
trellis,
net. Yep.
so I keep everything real pressed under that first layer until I'm ready.
Nice.
And then
Okay.
once the flower hits, I let everything
Rip all colas. Yeah. Yeah.
that way you can really maximize what you have instead of like
Yep.
you have a lot of gaps. It's like, no, dude, I need olive.
All the squares filled.
Yes, everything filled, like no square left.
Yeah, that's maximizing square footage, brother. I love it.
Period. Like you have to. So if you're running like a small grow, you can really get a lot as long as you just fill it all in.
100%, dude.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now, and it's kind of cool because this is some new genetics that I haven't grown before that I got from my buddy. So I'm hitting it real heavy with the notebook right now and just really taking notes and just trying to see like where everything is compared to like the last grow that I did, so I can be like, okay, well this obviously grew a lot faster in bed, but in flower, we'll kind of do like a compare and contrast to see how that worked.
I love it, dude. Keep me posted, brother. When it's all harvested, man, we're gonna have to burn it up.
Bro, you know it. I always throw harvest parties, so every time I harvest, I barbecue and I cook for everybody, and then the jar is just on the table. I
I
love it.
love it. I love it. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
man. And have a good night, brother. It was good catching up with you, dude. And fucking a, man. We're gonna stay posting on the DMs to get those girls looking good.
Yes, sir. With
Let,
it.
later,
Excited.
brother.
Later, man. That's sick.
Let me catch up here. Shout out to Gus Garden. Go give him a follow, a shout. Let's see here. Missed a little bit of the chat, but it's all good. It's all gravy. 19,000 follower giveaway this week. That was fantastic. We got some new tools on clonecoach.com too. If you want to see what overproduction is costing you, so if you need to transplant 1,000 clones and you are cloning 2,000 clones, you got to factor in your success rate, your labor, how long it's taking you, and put a dollar amount to that. On clonecoach.com, right on the homepage, I got a calculator that'll put a dollar amount to the overproduction happening, potentially week after week in your nursery. So give that a little quick trial, quick test, and see what your number comes out to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But shout out. I see some good people in here. I see ya. I see. I get the notifications when y'all join. What's going on? So, let's see here. We got. You guys want to talk content? Who's who on here is trying to get a little content going? Who has some content questions? What about some content questions? Content questions, clone questions, nursery questions, coaching questions. Um, got a couple coaching books, consulting books. Oh, when I was speaking to Gus Garden there, aka Mr. Lion, I remembered the story of Wonder Woman, which is one of the first strains. Came full circle when I started my nursery. So when I was in high school, I ordered these strains from Nirvana Seed Bank online from Europe. Got them mailed to me. Getting seeds mailed to your home when you live with your parents, like I thought it was a super sketch thing I was doing, and it was kind of sketch, maybe not that bad, but they made it. Okay. And it came with a bunch of other free seeds, and like they used to give you like free seeds and all this stuff. So I was able to plant like some other free seeds, some fem seeds, and like have a little backyard boogie going, in the closet with the CFL light, and out back when they got flowered out and stuff. But I kept these Wonder Woman seeds, kept them in a cool, dry cupboard for years. And even after high school, I didn't have a place where I could grow. I was scoping the cabinet in the garage and stuff at the parents' house, but it wasn't gonna work. 120-degree garages in the summer, like it would have been a disaster. So I didn't have a place to grow for years and years. But um, you know, a very very good friend of mine did have the opportunity to grow and was like, "Hey, do you have any seeds so we could get our grow started?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, man. I have these seeds I've been saving, since high school. I got them stored. Pop them. They're yours. Congratulations. It's here. Here you go. Here's what I could do to help you get your own garden going." Um, and they did. They got their garden going, and they got some lights pumping with those Wonder Woman genetics. Come to maybe like a year and a half later, 2 years, I was finally able to have a place to grow and have a little garden. Okay, set up the lights, set up the shelf, the pots of everything, the nutrients, AC, blacked out the window, blah blah blah. Came time for genetics, and I was like, "Hey, I need plants." And I reached out to the good friend that had the Wonder Woman genetics, and they're like, "Yeah, we have some mother plants. Come take a tray of clones, and you know, please for free. Just here, we have the genetics. Come take some snips and start your garden." Right? That was my first time ever taking clones, and it was a full tray of 50. I went out there, cloned a full tray of 50, and they're all bottoms too, because out there like, "Oh, don't take our tops, don't take our tops. We'll give you the bottoms and the sides." And I was being very like careful. Like took me forever to snip these, little 50 clones, and I plugged them, put them in a tray, threw them in the car, took them back to the spot, rooted them, and I swear to you, they all rooted. They all rooted. All right. I was able to separate about 10 plants to start as mother plants from my own nursery, and then I took the remaining 40 plants down to my first dispensary that I've ever went to go vend to. Took that tray of 40 plants, haggled inside the dispensary with my tray of clones, but once they saw them, they were like, "Wow, these are great!" Like I was able to get the price up to like $2 or $3 more than what they were paying as a normal standard, what they would pay for clones. But I called them, got the appointment, showed up, brought the clones, sold them, walked out with the cash in hand, and like I didn't look back. Like I sold that first tree of clones, had that genetic Wonder Woman as the first genetic in the nursery, and she was a super skunk crossed with White Widow from Nirvana seeds. And this pheno that we kept around and put out to the a lot of gardens out here through these just massive skunky, funky colas that just like threw down and was just so different from everything else in the garden. It just grew. It was a grower's dream because it was hardy and it was like old school genetics, just big chunky buds, resistant, super unique nose. It tested like in the high teens, but amazing smoke, amazing plant. And that Wonder Woman was a hitter. And those seeds that I ordered in high school online, and finally, I was able to go cut my first clones off of ever. Sold those clones and started mother plants from. Is how I kicked off my nursery career. That's the story of Wonder Woman. Yeah, the breeder on Wonder Woman was Nirvana. At least I got the Nirvana seeds. Gary Garcia says introducing a fungicide into my cloning has helped more than anything. Explosive white roots. Yep, that keeps them clean, leaves residual oxygen behind to make sure that they stay nice and bright and white. Shout out to BioSafe for the lighter. Gary Garcia says Wonder Woman was wild shit. How long ago? That was probably eight to. Well, it depends when the story started. When the story started, when I ordered the seeds, that was probably 2006, 2005, 2005 or six. Yeah, 2005 or six. Yeah, so more than 10 years ago. TikTok King says, "Hey Paul, I need a glossary for a lot of the acronyms new to the science of things." That's a good idea. What examples really stood out to you? Girl Michigan says, "Do you remember the breeder on the Wonder Woman?" Yeah, I think it was Nirvana. Yeah, Nirvana was yeah, they had Blue Mystic, White Rhino, AK-48. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I remember. Did you guys remember like being online 2005, browsing seed websites from Europe, seeing like the different browser the website and stuff, seeing like the euros on there and having to convert your currency and like super sketchy. And it would come sometimes hidden in like other objects, smuggled basically inside CD cases, DVD cases. But I remember like clicking all the pictures and like looking at all the stats and the yield per square meter. They would have the square meter, grams per square meter, characteristics, finish times, these beautiful pictures of flowers. That was just, shopping for seeds back in the day. My buddy got some Wonder Woman seeds 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, it was probably from there. It was probably from them. Yeah, all nervous, waiting for weeks. Yeah, like thinking that there's gonna be like three cop cars on you when you go to the mailbox to retrieve your seeds. You know that I mean, and especially for me. I mean, I was in high school at the time. I was just a teenager. I was just a kid. Teenager just ordering seeds online. I've had the passion for the plant for a little while now. For a little while, guys. So ordering seeds online in high school and having that be the first genetics to start a nursery and start to grow and start my career in the cannabis industry and haven't looked back since and in one way or another have lived off of the cannabis nursery industry, the nursery sector, you know since then. It's pretty cool. Smokahontas says, "I'm just diving into the world of cultivation myself. And what scale What kind of scale? What size garden? What size operation? What are you diving into? Some people have been thrown into the deep end, right? How deep? How deep are you diving into? And remember, y'all, don't forget to enter a guess, a number between 1 and 420 for your chance to win a free copy of the 14-day quick guide. At the end of this episode, I will be giving away a free copy of the 14-day quick guide from clonecoach.com. So enter a guess, a number between 1 and 420 in the chat for your chance to win at the end of this episode. Gary Garcia says, great, bud. Grove Michigan says, I've got some Wonder Woman seeds that I've got for free years ago, probably back in high school. Still haven't popped them. Maybe I should. Grove Michigan, you want to do me a solid? From a company called Bread by 42. Grove Michigan, shoot me a DM. You want to do me a solid? I'll barter for those seeds just to have them. I mean, I'm probably just going to order some. I don't know why I won't just order some more Nirvana seeds, Wonder Woman Nirvana seeds. That's kind of the little memory of the memoir. But Bread by 42, I haven't heard of that company. Bread by 42 Genetics. But there's a lot of genetic companies out there. I see a Wonder Weed from them, but not a Wonder Woman. Do you have the Wonder Weed? Is that what you have, Grow Michigan? Smokahontas says, I'm literally just starting. I worked for a cannabis company that gave me the opportunity to get hands-on learning at an indoor facility and an outdoor farm. Fantastic. That's great. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments there. I've worked at I don't know. I mean, I've worked at probably half a dozen different grows commercially. I've brokered for many nurseries. I've been a sales rep for a nursery, um, management at different veg departments and nurseries, greenhouse, indoor, a lot of stuff. Yeah. See, Grow Michigan. I think they're Wonder Weed, not Wonder Woman. Yeah, I just looked them up. It's not the Wonder Woman, man. Sorry. There's only. I'm gonna order some. Thanks for that inspiration. Nirvana Seeds. Who liked that story, the Wonder Woman story? Who heard and has some feedback, thoughts, honest feedback on that Wonder Woman story? You know, I think everybody should have. I mean, I'm being told in the research that I'm doing as far as like trying to build content and stuff that people got to have signature stories and like stories that like you know is their signature story, and you got to have those kind of ready to go. Um, whenever you're speaking and whatnot. So you got to test and see which ones hit, which ones work. They're kind of saying everybody's got stories. It's just kind of how you frame a story and get better at storytelling, all that good stuff. But who heard the Wonder Woman story, and what are your thoughts? Because remember, guys, I'm just trying to learn as I go here. There is no template for not exact template for what I'm doing or trying to do, but trying to get better at storytelling, get better at content, get better at coaching, um, content coaching, and then the long-term play is the physical products, which is Clone Coach Rooting Gel. So that's going to take a lot. That's going to take a while. That's going to take some coin. That's going to take some time. But I'm not going anywhere. When I was first vending clones, I was going to every single dispensary that would take me in the Coachella Valley, and um, I would always tell them like I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm gonna put my best foot forward. I'm gonna try to bring you the best product that I can, and I'm gonna be around. There's always gonna be an association with clones and myself. So just so you know my intentions and my goals here. Like I'm trying to stick around, and I've stuck around since. So I'll put in the patient work to get the clone gel to market the right way. Kid Chems says, "What's a sales rep position like in a nursery?" It's a great question. So, Kid Chems, what's a sales rep position like in a nursery? It's not it's not bad, right? But it's a sales rep job that covers territory, so there is travel involved. There's a lot of driving to and from, potential flights, but you have to manage a book of business and maintain current clients and grow current clients and gain new customers, um, and so you're out there maintaining all these accounts. The What the sales rep has to deal with is production and the forecasting accuracy of the production team. Okay. And that's where, if there's difficulties there, it makes life as a sales rep pretty crappy, pretty difficult, because nothing that you're saying or could promise or could put faith or trust in becomes true. And the client and customer sees that after one or two times. And if the production can't accurately forecast what they're saying they're going to do, you can't accurately sell what you sold. They can accurately expect what they ordered to receive what they ordered, because it change orders all last minute. So there could be some difficulties, but um, I mean, it's a lot of fun though too, because a lot of instances people need clones last minute, and it is what it is, dude. Like, I wish people would give me 2 weeks or more, because they know they're going to need plants in 2 weeks, but the day that they're able to put plants in, they need the plants yesterday. And when you're able to come through for them and get them plants in a timely fashion, and those plants work out great for them, you're the hero, right? You're the hero. And as long as you're honest and up front, and answer your phone, pick up the phone, answer the email, um, are there when there's problems, all that good stuff, you'll keep that client going, as long as your production team can accurately forecast, hit the forecast, so you could sell accurately and keep them happy in that way. But then you got to do a lot of, the products nowadays got to come with testing, got to come with flower results, pathogen screenings, uniformity, consistency. Logistics is another one. You got to deal with the logistics of it all. If your nursery's up north and you got clients down south, or vice versa, well, loading up plants in a van, depends on the plant's count. That could take up a lot of cubic feet inside of a vehicle. So sometimes they're big trucks, big vans that are heading up north or heading down south, and you got to be able to arrive during business hours, ideally, so that they could unload, inspect the plants during business hours. Because I've had orders show up 11 o'clock, midnight, and you have to pay people overtime to sit around and wait, and you can't accurately dive through them all, and you got to get what you get. So um but it's there's good and bad to it. So it's fun though, either way. I did it for another nursery. um I sold for Dark Heart Nursery for a while, but prior to that, I was doing my own brokering and building my own relationships between nurseries and cultivators, about buyers and sellers. I was building relationships between those two parties and helping the parties out on either end, moving inventory for nurseries, getting good stock when cultivators needed it, and kind of built up my own book of business, my own brokering book of business that I just hustled. Gathered email lists and contact information from the state when it was available, and cold emailed, email blasted, cold phone calls, to just build up a book of business, build a good reputation, and then just keep referrals and things like that. Um, so I brought that kind of momentum along to Dark Heart, so I was able to negotiate a better base salary and commissions and stuff. But yeah, that's a little foray into what a sales rep position is like at a nursery. Hope that wasn't too much of a ramble. But Grow Michigan says, "I love the story. I think it's awesome. You started from that. Yep, from the Wonder Woman seeds." Smokahontas says, "I got some of my training from a gentleman that worked in Colorado at the Weenie Farms as lead cultivator. He taught me a lot. Now I'm growing at home, still trying to learn the ways." Nice. Kid Cams, money wise, what? Oh, what was it like money wise? It could be you could be fairly well compensated as a nursery salesman. You could hit six figures in California for sure. You gotta move a lot of plants and handle a lot of things, and you're handling um, a lot of money every year. Multi-million-dollar worth of business to shave off your six figures. But you can make six figures selling clones for sure, for sure, for sure. But now, I mean, nowadays the market's different, and the market's always going to have that effect on some of these avenues and stuff. Because even nursery brokers that I've spoken to, they're like, dude, it's just there are people are clocking out, people are done, So, but yeah, that's a good question though. What was it like selling clones? If you want the full resume, go to my LinkedIn profile. You'll find the full resume there. But yeah, guys, get your guesses in. Random number generator. We're gonna kick this one off a little bit early. Get your guesses in. Number two, 1 to 420. We're gonna do this right now. So I kind of gotta go pee. So we're gonna go do this. Number two, 1 to 420. Get your guesses in now. Generating. It is 279. 279. Gus has got a 240. I'm gonna scroll up here, find to see if Gus is closest so far. 279 is a random number this week. 240 is closest so far. 279 is a random number. 315, 320, 204. Hold on one sec. You know what? Hey, Gus, you fucking won it, man. Joining the live, you won it. You got close so far. I got to hit the head. Catch you guys next week. And we'll stop.